Good morning and a happy Sunday to you. Today is the 13th of September, year 2020. Where's this year running to? My goodness, we're already in the middle of the month of September. Hope you've had a fantastic Saturday. Today is Sunday, so today we are going to be talking about poor, why poor? Why live poor? And so today's topic is why live poor? It's quite baffling because if we say our Father in heaven, God is the creator of all things, the owner of all things, then that means he's more than the word wealthy, more than the word rich, more than the word overflowing. I don't even know what word to qualify God. Because if he's the owner of all things and we are his children, then why do some of us live poor? Now, when we say poor, it's not just limited to your basic necessities. Even our mentality, our mindset, some people have a poor mindset, a poor mentality. Why live poor? And recently I discovered another meaning of poor, and it's in that context that we'll be looking at today. Why live poor? Poor meaning passing over opportunities repeatedly. That is poor. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. P-O-O-R. And that is what happens to most of us. God gives us an opportunity, but sometimes we just don't see. And our eyes are open, yet we cannot see. And the opportunities have come the first, the second, the third time. And we keep asking, oh, please just give me one more opportunity and I will just this opportunity. And the opportunity comes and we don't see it, or we don't seize it, or we don't use it, we don't utilize it. So when we look at the book of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 28, it says there, talking about God being the creator. It says, hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary, there is no searching of his understanding. God is the everlasting God, is the God that lasts and lasts and lasts forever and ever and ever. He is the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint and he is not weary. So if God is the God that lasts and lasts and lasts, then that means that we are not permitted to be poor. It's not something that is permitted for the child of God to be poor. Because God created all things for himself, by all things were made through him. So why do we pass over opportunities over and over again, and we keep remaining in that same position? You cannot be sleeping or be slothful in business or be lazy and you expect that you'll be comfortable. Let's not even say wealthy or rich now, comfortable. And then if you want to now say you want to be wealthy, want to be in abundance, it's not going to drop on your table. You have your part to play. You need to work. You need to make sure that you use all the opportunities that have come before you. Even if you make mistakes, you learn from it. Even if you do not succeed in that particular endeavor that you cast your hand upon, don't sit down. Get yourself up again. If you're fully, not sure that that is what you ought to do, then keep trying. Don't give up. It's just like a baby that wants to crawl. They keep trying until they start crawling. Just like a child that wants to start walking. They try until they perfect their walking. It's just like an adult that wants to learn how to drive. You keep at it until you pass it. For those that want to go into higher institution, if you fail a subject, you try and do it again. That's just it. You have to make sure you do not pass over opportunities. Because if you pass over opportunities repeatedly, then you are poor. So when we look at the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, and I will read verse 12. And it says there, he hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his discretion. That is God. God has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom, and we live in this world. He has established this earth by his power, and he has, given us the power to live here, the power to make wealth, the power to be comfortable. Then why do we keep passing over opportunities? And then I'll look at the book of Genesis, chapter 22. Why I believe that we are not meant to live poor at all. We all know the story of Abraham and how God told Abraham to take his only son, to go and offer him up as a sacrifice, and Abraham obeyed God, and and everything. And when he was about to offer up Isaac, God then provided a ram that was caught in a thicket by his horns. So verse 13 says, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. Verse 14, and Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And that's why we call God Jehovah Jireh, our provider. God is our provider. If God is our provider and we're meant to be his child, then why live poor? God gives us ample opportunities. He daily loads us with his benefits. Every single day, there's so many things you can do that can make revenue to come in, that can make you a source of blessing unto others, that can make you an employer of labor. There's so many ideas. God has given us wisdom to break hard sentences, just like how Daniel broke hard sentences during his own time. And then I'll look at the book of Luke chapter 19, and I'll read from verse 5. This is the story of Zacchaeus. This is the story of Zacchaeus, and I'll read. And let me read from verse 1. And it says, and Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. Verse 5, and when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. We just read this story of Zacchaeus. We know that Zacchaeus was rich, so he was comfortable, he was fine. But because it was of a little stature, he could not see Jesus when Jesus was there. But you know what? He did not say because of his small stature, he would allow the opportunity to see Jesus pass him by. What did he do? He ran and climbed up into a sycamore tree. He could have fallen, he could have injured himself, but he was determined. Now, that opportunity he did not allow to slip by. Jesus saw him. Jesus has seen his heart. Don't forget that Jesus tries the hearts of men. God tries the hearts of men. Jesus looked up and saw Zacchaeus, and then told Zacchaeus to make haste and he should come down, for today Jesus was going to visit him. The second time, Zacchaeus did not pass over that opportunity. He came down, he made haste, and he came down just like what Jesus told him, and received him joyfully. And of course, people were murmuring that Jesus went to be a guest with a man that is a sinner. And Jesus then told him that salvation has come into his house, for as much as he also is the son of Abraham, for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. And Zacchaeus did not let that opportunity pass him by. And that is what we are meant to do as Christians. If you do not want to be poor, you must not allow opportunities to pass you by. You must not pass over opportunities. And I'll read the story of blind Bartimaeus. This makes me chuckle because Bartimaeus has been healed, he sees, but yet up till this day we call him blind Bartimaeus, and that is human beings. There's a label. They label you with the negative things. They don't remember the good. It's the negative things that has been with you, that's enveloped you and clothed you, that they remember you by. But Jesus is different. Once he's forgiven, everything is erased. Anyway, back to what we are saying about living poor. So we are going to be looking into the book of Mark chapter 10. That's where the story of blind Bartimaeus is. And I read from verse 46, and it says, "And they came to Jericho, and as he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the highway side begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, 'Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me.' And many charged him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more a great deal, 'Thou son of David, have mercy on me.' And Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, 'Be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee.' And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. And Jesus answered and said unto him, 'What wilt thou that I should do unto thee?' The blind man said unto him, 'Lord, that I might receive my sight.' And Jesus said unto him, 'Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole.' And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus in the way." Blind Bartimaeus did not allow this opportunity to pass him by. He had been on the highway side begging for years. But when he heard that Jesus was around, he began to cry out, shouting, "Jesus, son of David, thou son of, have mercy on me." When they were rebuking and saying, "You should shut up, hold your peace," you know how people are. But he did not stop. He even cried out the more. He did not give up. He did not give up. I mean, he had been crying for 10 hours, for 8 hours, who knows. He cried the more the great deal, "Thou son of David, have mercy on me." And because of his faith and his persistence and his consistency, Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called and asked him, "What do you want me to do for you? What will you want me to do unto you?" And he told Lord that I might receive his sight, my sight. And Jesus said to him, "Go your way." Jesus did not say, "Follow me." He said, "Go your way. Your faith had made you whole." And as soon as Bartimaeus received his sight, he didn't go his way. He followed Jesus. So, if you want to live comfortable, if you want to live comfortably, if you want to live a comfortable life, to have all the things that God has provided for us to enjoy, then you must make sure that you don't pass over opportunities repeatedly. Anytime an opportunity comes your way, you grab it, you make use of it, and then you follow Jesus all the way. So, have a wonderful day. Let your mindset not be poor. Let your thinking not be poor. Let your mentality not be poor. Let your living not be poor. Let your ministry not be poor. Let everything about you not be poor. It is your choice. Don't pass over opportunities repeatedly. Have a wonderful Sunday. I pray that your new week will be a blessed one, filled with great testimonies in the name of Jesus. Stay connected to God. Remember that He loves you and He will never leave you nor forsake you. God bless you. Shalom.